In this video, I'm going to share something that I did today to make sure that I never lose money investing. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Matt and I make videos that challenge you to upgrade your mindset, money, and more. So if you're interested in those topics, please go down, like this video, and click the subscribe button to find out when a new video comes out. Today we're going to talk about something that I think is really important if you're going to invest your money. And it's an important lesson that I've taken some time to learn. And if I had done this earlier, if I had listened to my own advice earlier, years before, then my investment portfolio and just my financial status would be so much further along. Now, I'm happy I made this decision today. I finally took advantage of something that I knew was the right thing to do, but I didn't do it for a variety of reasons. And we're going to get into that here in this video very quickly. But first, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you can relate to this experience that I'm going to get into right now, please go down and drop that into the comments below. Now, today we're talking about investing. Investing is something that I think everybody should be doing if they're looking at really kind of setting themselves up for a good future financially. I'm not going to share the exact investment, the stock that I bought, because people are going to want shortcuts when it comes to investing their money, and they're not going to get that here in this video. I believe this video is going to share some principles with you that I have used, that I have taken advantage of, and now because of them, I can never lose money on this stock ever again. And in fact, I think I'm going to do the flip of that. I'm going to make a lot of money because I've really established some good investing principles. So I want you to watch this video. I want you to learn the principles that I'm going to share with you here. And then I want you to do your own research. I want you to talk to people. I want you to do your own research on YouTube. I want you to read books on this so that you can understand, number one, is this a solid investing principle? And number two, how is it going to work in your life? So I've blurred the information out here. You're not going to see the stock that I bought. But basically, 4 years ago, there was a company that I had done some research on, and it was getting listed to the public for the very first time. And for me, this was a company in a field that I thought was a game changer in the world. It was also a company that I thought was going to disrupt that field while kind of carving its own niche out, I guess, on its own, and kind of creating something that maybe didn't exist. And that's why the first week that this stock was available, it was at like $8 or $9 per share. I went in and I bought a sizable amount of it, right? So boom, I bought this stock the first week that it was listed, and the first week that I could really go ahead and purchase it. Now, it's gone up, it's gone down, as investments do, but we find ourselves here now in the last little bit where this stock has risen. And for me, it's risen so much that I finally had to do something to set myself up financially. And this is kind of the debate here. Number one, I have seen my portfolio go up and go down, go up and go down, go up and go down all the time over the years. Sometimes those are by big amounts and sometimes those are by small amounts. And I never sold the investments that I had. And this is something that I look at. If I had managed my investments a little bit better, then I would definitely be in a better financial state. So I finally said, I need to take my own advice. I need to listen to where and look at where I am currently and also where I'm going. And I need to sell some of these shares. So this stock is specifically in the area of like data. And I think data is often overlooked. I think it's becoming more and more important of a field in the world that we live in, whether that's private data, whether that's government data, whether that is like business data. There's so many different areas we could talk about here. And it's also, it kind of encroaches into the AI space as well. So this stock is in the, let's say, data AI field. It's something that I think is really important, and it's something that I think is going to change the world that we live in and disrupt the current industries while kind of creating their own niche. So that's why I made an investment in this company in the very first place. Now, it's gone up in the last 5-6 months. It's gone up significantly as well. And I get to the place where I was seeing these gains happen, and I just knew I needed to take advantage of the gains that were there to really secure my initial investment. And some of the gains that the stock has had is basically in the last day, it was up 1.42%. In the last week, it was up 8.47%. In the last month, it was up 38%. In the last 3 months, it was up 96%. In the last 6 months, it was up 183%. And you can see that rising, right? Basically for me, I was at a point where I'm like, how much higher can it go within this length of time? And am I going to see a correction? Are we going to see a pullback? And this happens with stocks that you really like. This happens with stocks that are disruptors. This happens with stocks that you believe in fully, right? They cannot continue to rise day after day, month after month, year after year. So at what point are you going to secure some of that profit that you've made? So I looked at what I put in 4 years ago. It's gone up over time. Today, I did the important thing of protecting, conserving my initial investment. I sold a third of my current position, which basically meant I took out what I had put in initially and a little bit more because I'm doing some things like I've talked about here on my channel where I maybe want to pay off some debt, or maybe I want to invest in equipment for this YouTube channel, or maybe I'm saving up for, well, not maybe, I'm saving up for a down payment for a house, right? That's one of the goals that I shared a couple videos ago. So I knew that it was time to really protect my money and protect the gains that I have seen over time, because if I don't and the stock went down, well, really I didn't gain anything, right? So there's a whole debate there. But today I did the really important thing. You can see that this is the share. I had 167 shares of this company. I did kind of quickly get in and out, or kind of moved some other shares from other companies over into purchasing more shares of this specific company. So the average cost was much higher than I had initially put my first investment in at like $8 or $9 US. The average cost was $28.23. The last price was $84.62 Canadian. Basically, the cost of all the shares that I had purchased were $4,715, right? So you're going to see down below, I currently have $4,820 in cash sitting in my bank account. I was able to sell a significant amount, being 1/3 of the shares that I had. And that's the point of this video today. Put an initial investment into companies that you've researched, that you've talked to your financial advisor, that you really believe are going to be game changers. And in this scenario, that's what I did, and I'm sharing with you here in this video. I made that initial investment of $4,715. And once this stock doubled, in fact, once it tripled was when I finally kind of stopped sitting on the fence and said, hey, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I need to go ahead and do this regardless of what happens, because I'm never going to be able to predict this. Regardless of what happens, I need to be able to protect my money, to protect my investment that I made, and also make sure that now I can never lose money in this stock ever again. I've taken out that initial investment and a little bit more, being 1/3 of the position, I guess, yesterday that I had owned in this stock. And now I've got 2/3 that are ready to run. These things are ready to run for the next year, for the next 5 years, 10, 20, 30 years. And obviously I will develop a plan as that stock continues to go up. But right now, I can tell you I'm going to sleep very good this evening. Number one, it is my birthday. So maybe this becomes a new birthday tradition, selling stocks on my birthday, or at least that reminder to really do my due diligence and make sure that I'm kind of in a scenario where I'm looking at this from time to time. And number two, I've made money on this stock, and now I can never lose money ever again. So that's the premise. That's the principle that I want you to understand here in this video. When you can set yourself up here, you are going to feel so much better. And I also think you're going to make sure that through the long run, you're managing your money in a way that is going to serve you, and you're managing your money in a way that is smart, and it's also going to help you live out your values. So I don't want to get into that right now. I want you to understand this investment principle that I've been using now. It's an investment principle that I know is not easy to do, because for me, I was sitting on the fence debating, yeah, but what if that 1/3 goes up as well? Like the next day, what if it shoots up 5, 10% over the next year? What if the stock shoots up another 50, 100% and it doubles, right? I would like to have that 1/3 of the shares that I basically sold today. I'd like to have those included in that stock rising. But now I don't have to worry about that, because I've taken out my initial investment. I've protected my money and a little bit more. So now I've made money on that stock. And the other 2/3 that are currently in there, those are going to run. It is such a good place to be. This is something that now I don't have to think about. Now I don't have to worry about. And more importantly, the thing that finally made me do this is because if I look at where my investments were 2, 3, 4 years ago, kind of after the pandemic, my investments were shooting through the roof. But I don't have any results to show for that, because I'm a long-term investor. I can't predict if the stock market's going to go up or down. The general trend is, yes, it goes up, but when you're buying individual stocks, that can be risky, right? So I can't make those predictions. And ultimately, I don't want to be glued to my phone looking at stock performance and all that stuff. I want to invest in stocks that I think are disruptors and game changers. And when I do that, maybe I will invest in individual stocks, but the majority of what I do is ETF investing. I consistently do it. And as a result, I get those consistent gains, because ETF investing is just super solid. It's a great way to protect your money, and it's a great way to get gains too. But in this scenario, I have my stocks. I put my initial investment in. When it doubles, I take that initial investment out, and then the rest of it goes Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. This feels so good to be in this place. I'm making this video simply to encourage you. This is the right thing to do, in my opinion. I mean, it's such a good place for me to be right now, because now I can never lose money on this investment ever again. And for me, it's really exciting, because this is where we want to be with every investment that we make. It just takes focus. It just takes a plan. And ultimately, it just takes discipline. So I hope that this video encourages you to come up with a plan for your investments, to do your research, to speak with a financial advisor, to talk to people that you know in your life that are good at managing their money, right? When they make an investment, what do they do with that? Do they put it into a business? Do they go ahead and buy real estate? Do they do something else with it, right? There's people in your life that are really good with their money. And there's people in your life that use their money to live out their values and live a life of purpose. And that's what we're about here at this channel. So if this video helped, go down and click the like button, drop your questions and comments down below. And I appreciate you being here, and I want to see you come back. So click that subscribe button if you want to learn how you can upgrade your mindset, money, and more.